Hey, welcome to episode number 6 of Tuning In with Your Cycle. Today we're going to talk about the luteal phase, what happens in our body hormone-wise, why are we so hungry during this phase, what foods are the best to keep our mood more stable, what are the best eating practices to prevent sugary cravings, and of course a couple of red flags to keep an eye on. Okay, so the luteal phase usually lasts between 10 and 14 days, give or take, and it starts right after ovulation. Now, I like seeing the luteal phase like in two, basically week 1 and week 2. So during week 1, our estrogen levels are still like higher and progesterone kicks in. So once the egg is released, the corpus luteum from where the egg was released, it starts producing progesterone. And I like calling progesterone our sen hormone. So we have estrogen and our sen hormone, so that means we still feel active and a bit social, but not as we were feeling during ovulation. So as we transition into week number 2, also known as the PMS week, our estrogen levels dip and our progesterone still lingers around. Again, it's the sen hormone, so we feel like staying at home, like watching our favorite Netflix show, maybe reading a book. Pretty much we feel like nesting, right? So we not only feel like nesting, but we also get hungrier. And the science behind this, it's fascinating. So we get hungry during the luteal phase because our metabolism is actually faster, which requires more calories. And it requires more calories because it wants to hoard as many nutrients as it can in case an egg was fertilized. How freaking cool is this? So now, because we feel hungrier, we usually tend to go for that cupcake and that donut, pretty much those sugary treats. But a way to prevent that is by having more meals throughout the day. So if you usually eat 3 main meals, then focus on adding some snacks along the way. Or if you like smaller meals throughout the day, just make sure you don't go more than 3 hours without any food. So here it is super important, as I'm always mentioning, to include protein and healthy fats to help you prevent the blood sugar roller coaster that most often causes the sugary cravings. And not only that, but it makes us hangry. So it makes us angry and irritable, 2 things that characterize this phase. But if you try doing this, then you're gonna notice that's gonna be a little bit better, okay? So now, how do we keep our mood more stable? Well, this is where the superstar macronutrient of the luteal phase comes into the picture, and those are complex carbs. So complex carbs are essential to keep a balance between dopamine and serotonin levels. This means your moods are gonna be more stable, and you're gonna feel less anxious and less depressed. And now, because you're controlling your blood sugar, then you're gonna feel less irritable and less angry. So these 2 have to work together. Now, during the luteal phase also, it's super important to focus on foods that are high in B vitamins, like nutritional yeast, oats, eggs, and salmon, because B vitamins are essential for progesterone production. Okay, so now that we tackled everything, now what are some red flags you need to keep an eye out for? So number 1, irregular periods. If you're suffering from irregular periods, then this may mean that you are not ovulating, okay? And remember, ovulation is essential for progesterone production, so that may mean that you're not producing enough progesterone. 2, if you're having sleep disturbances, if you're not sleeping like a baby during your luteal phase, then that means you're not producing enough progesterone, because progesterone is a sen hormone that slows us down and helps us sleep better. And the last one, if you are experiencing extreme mood swings, because that may mean your estrogen and progesterone levels are completely out of whack and they're causing you to have these extreme mood swings along with a mismanaged blood sugar. Okay, so those are 3 flags to keep an eye for. Now, as a quick summary, during the luteal phase, you need to eat more frequent times throughout the day, including protein and healthy fats. However, However, our superstar macronutrient here are going to be complex carbs. So make sure to include them at least in 3 of your meals during this phase, because they're going to help you stabilize your mood, okay? So now also it is super important to include foods high in B vitamins because they're essential for progesterone production, and some red flags to keep an eye for are irregular periods, extreme mood swings, and sleep disturbances. Okay, and now a great way to start supporting your hormones is with seed cycling. So if you haven't done so, go to vitalinutrition.com/guide or with the link in my bio and grab that free guide and start seed cycling today, especially if you're experiencing one of those red flags. Okay, so if you have any questions, you know where to find me, and I'll see you next week.